Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're setting the stage for an absolutely incredible journey to a magnificent, yet somehow nearly forgotten, Silk Road empire. We're going to explore a place where totally diverse ancient civilizations collided, leaving behind this trail of awe-inspiring art, monumental architecture, and landscapes that honestly look like they belong on another planet. So get ready, because we are discovering the ancient kingdom of Kucha.
Okay, let's dive into this. Picture this. Where in the world can you find a desert oasis where fire continuously burns straight out of bubbling water? And where can you find these ancient, blood-red cliffs hiding mysterious Buddhist caves that actually predate the super famous Mogao Caves in Dunhuang by hundreds of years?
Section 1. The Heart of the Silk Road. Well, the answer lies right in the Tarim Basin, in what is modern-day Kücha, or the ancient kingdom of Kucha. To really grasp its immense importance as this geographical choke point and a massive cultural bridge connecting east and west, let's trace its timeline for a second. Way back in 60 BC, the Han dynasty established its protectorate of the western regions here. Fast forward a bit to 658 AD, and the Tang dynasty actually moved its incredibly powerful Anxi protectorate to this exact spot. For centuries, this oasis was the absolute political and military hub for the Central Plains dynasties that were trying to control the western regions. The sheer density of history here is just staggering, and this brilliantly illustrates the monumental credibility of this one single desert oasis. I mean, in Kücha alone, you've got 3 distinct UNESCO World Heritage Sites all clustered together. You have the sprawling Subashi Buddhist temple ruins, the breathtaking Kizil Caves, and the ancient Kizilgaha Beacon Tower. It's just an undeniable testament to the historical weight of this incredible place. Let's start with the Subashi temple ruins. These are these immense, sun-baked earthen structures divided right down the middle by the rushing Kucha River. Now, this was once the absolute largest temple complex in the entire region. It's so steeped in myth, actually, that it's often linked to the legendary Daughter's Kingdom from the classic tale Journey to the West. And get this, the famous Tang Dynasty monk Xuanzang spent 2 whole months here studying and preaching, standing on these exact same slopes.
Section 2. The First Caves of Faith.
Transitioning from the earthly ruins of the temple to a really profound spiritual legacy, we find over 300 hidden caves carved directly into these deep red cliffs. What's truly mind-blowing about this? These caves predate the world-famous Mogao Caves in Dunhuang by more than 300 years. Let that sink in. That makes the Kizil Caves the very first, the absolute earliest Buddhist cave site ever discovered in China. Now, what's really interesting about this is the incredibly vibrant blue pigment used in the murals. These caves are basically an ocean of Buddhist stories, showcasing this brilliant fusion of Indian, Central Asian, and local Qiuci art styles. But that rich blue, that is lapis lazuli imported all the way from ancient Afghanistan. Back then, this mineral was literally worth more than its weight in gold, which just goes to show how much immense wealth and devotion the ancient Kucha elite were pouring into these masterpieces. However, there are these empty, cleanly cut out wall sections left behind that tell a much more tragic story. The caves have suffered some severe damage over the centuries. First, natural forces like earthquakes and weathering took a heavy toll. Then came religious conflicts between the 10th and 14th centuries. And finally, in the early 20th century, foreign expeditions swept through the area. German archaeological teams alone actually sliced out and removed 32 boxes of these priceless murals, leaving behind the empty rectangular scars that are still there today. Section 3. The Master Translator. To really humanize this grand history, we have to meet one of the most brilliant minds born in ancient Kucha, the master translator Kumarajiva. I actually have a question for you all. Think about these super common Chinese words: future, world, wisdom, and trouble. Which of these everyday concepts do you think Kumarajiva invented to translate Buddhist scriptures? Keep in mind, this guy's native tongue was Kucha. He completely taught himself Chinese, traveled to India at age 9, and later survived 17 harsh years of imprisonment, all while dedicating his life to translating sacred texts. While the answer is all of them, every single one, the linguistic impact Kumarajiva had is absolutely staggering. He created these words because there were literally no Chinese equivalents for these abstract concepts at the time. Today, billions of people use these exact words every single day to describe their lives, their futures, their troubles, entirely unaware that a genius monk from Kucha invented them over 1,500 years ago. No way, right? He's also responsible for this famous and incredibly poetic translation: one flower, one world, one leaf, one Bodhi. It's a phrase that profoundly encourages us to respect individual uniqueness. Just as every flower and every leaf has its own intricate veins and history, every person is completely unique. It's a beautiful, timeless reminder from the ancient Silk Road to embrace our differences. Section 4. Marvels of Kucha architecture. So let's fast forward to today, where the ancient past still echoes in the living, breathing streets of modern Kucha City. If you take a walk down Rezistan Street in the old city, you'll see these incredibly vibrant, colorful wooden doors, typical of traditional Uyghur homes. But if you look closely at the carvings, you'll spot a seamless fusion of cultures. Ancient Chinese Central Plain symbols like the swastika and traditional longevity patterns are intricately carved right into the local architecture. It beautifully preserves the region's long history of deep cultural integration. Now, check out this magnificent structure, the Kücha Great Mosque. It's the second largest in Xinjiang, and its construction involved a really wild number: 4.8 million. Can a massive mosque be built with eggs? Well, local legend states that in an era before modern cement, exactly 4.8 million eggs were used to create the binding mortar for this incredible building. So the crucial point is, you can't truly understand the culture of Kucha without diving into its daily staples. And specifically, I'm talking about this immense golden brown Kucha naan bread. As the locals say, one cannot go a day without naan. But here in Kucha, they do not do small portions. Their signature naan is quite literally the size of a car tire. It's an absolute necessity, perfectly designed for dipping into the rich broths and spicy dishes of the region. Let's move to and see how this builds into Section 5, Mysticism of Earth and Fire. Heading to the outskirts of the city, we can see how this rich history builds right into the raw, bizarre natural beauty that surrounds it. Take the Chanshan mysterious Grand Canyon. The sheer, imposing scale of these windswept Yadan landforms, these jagged, wind-carved rock ridges, is just breathtaking. For millions of years, relentless wind and flash floods have sculpted this deep red earth into a huge labyrinth of towering, winding cliffs. Honestly, walking through it feels like wandering through the veins of the earth itself. And naturally nestled within these dramatic landscapes is a truly surreal phenomenon: the flame spring. Just as we touched on at the very beginning of this explainer, this is where hellfire literally meets water. Because of the immense pressure from shifting tectonic plates beneath the surface, natural underground gas leaks into the spring water, bubbles to the top, and ignites. It creates this perpetual fire that completely defies the rain, the wind, and the water it sits right on top of. Kücha has stood as a resilient, vibrant bridge between the East and the West for millennia. I mean, from the earliest caves of faith to the very words we speak today, its legacy is everywhere. Which really leaves us with one final thought. As the sands of time continue to shift, what other forgotten marvels of human genius and raw nature are still out there, just waiting to be rediscovered along the ancient Silk Road? Thank you so much for joining me on The Explainer today. Keep exploring, and I'll see you next time.